Alright guys, so welcome to today's video. In today's video, I would like to work on a Kaidou dragon transformation. And as you guys know, I have dropped a video some weeks ago in which I have built the Kaidou dragon model, which we are going to use in today's video. And finally, someone contacted me and was able to rig this model. Okay, so shoutouts to Axe. So check out the description for his platforms if he wants to advertise them. And yeah, as I've told you, shoutouts to Axe. Thank you very much for contributing to the community. And yeah, so let's begin with this video. So I've just imported this dragon model right here. It should not concern you in how I've done that, because you do not have the file. Okay, so you do not have the file I have in order to import this one, but you're going to have the model in the description, so links in the description. If you want this dragon model right here, this transformation model, then make sure to check out the description, guys. So this is our Kaidou dragon right here, and we're now going to script a transformation for this one. And yeah, so it is my first time as well creating a transformation of something that big, so I hope that this is going to work out. So the first thing I would like to see is that, or is whether they are welded together. It means when I play this game, they stay together. Okay, they do. Okay, they do. That's good. So let's go inside of the starter pack. Let's add a tool. Make sure that requires handless faults. And let's call this one Kaidou Dragon. Let's add a local script inside of here. Let's call this one Dragon Client. Wait, script. Let's add a script inside of here. Let's call this one Dragon Server. Let's call this one Dragon Remote. So obviously I've just added a remote event inside of here. So inside of this Dragon Client, what we want to do is that when script parent, basically script parent, so the tool, when it has been activated, then no, not activated, but when it has been equipped. So equipped connect function. So when a tool has been equipped, we want to fire server a remote event, and this fire server is going to lead the dragon right here to be attached onto our body. Means we are transforming into a dragon. So we're going to do the same for the other case, for the opposite case, so unequipped. So when a tool has been unequipped, we want to fire server this remote event once again, which is going to lead to the destruction of that Kaidou dragon, that transformation right here. So script dragon remote fire server dragon transform, and then for the unequipped case, dragon deletion. No, let's say delete. So that's basically it for the client right here. Now we want to refer to the remote event. So we're now inside of this server script. So script parent basically refers to the local script, and then dot dragon remote, yeah, obviously refers to the remote event. So we're now going to call this on server event, and this event right here basically reacts when the remote event has been fire servered, which is obviously the case right here. And we are able to receive some arguments. So as you can see, we have one argument for each fire server, but the first argument right here is the player. Okay, so as you can see, this is not the player, this is an argument, a other argument, and this right here would be the player if we would have had a variable which defines the player, but we don't. So the player right here is automatically being passed with each fire server. You do not need to add the player right here. Okay, so this one might be your first argument right here, but it is not the first argument here, because the first argument here is your player. So the first argument in your client script becomes the second one in the server script. So this what right here would be this, and basically just tells the script what to do. So if what is to dragon transform, then there we go. Now else if what is dragon delete, then So those are the 2 tasks we are going to do for today. So, first task is this dragon transform thing. So let's take this Kaidou dragon and let's move the Kaidou dragon inside of the replicated storage. And let's make sure that all of the parts right here are can collide faults and anchored faults as well. Yeah, so they should be valid into each other because we have this motor 60 inside of there. So let's do the following. So let's actually take a look inside of this Buddha script we have created. So as you can see, what we have done right here is that we have looped through the character. So let me define a variable for the character up here. So C player character. So we're now going to loop through the character. So C get children do. Now if C is a, no, if V is a mesh part or V is a part, so I'm gonna explain this now, so do not worry. Or V is a decal, then V transparency, go on, equals 1. So what we're doing right here is that we are looping through the character, the player's character, and V in this context becomes the instance we're currently at. So if you open up the character model, then you see that a character model consists of many, many instances. So of the body parts, of the hats, and whatsoever. And what we're doing right here is that we are looping through each of them and change this to get descendants, not get children, but get descendants, so that we actually get everything which is inside of the character model. So not only the parts which are superficial right here, but also all of the parts inside, you know? So like this, like this, like this, and I could continue that thing, but that would just take up too much time. So we are looping through, and we are checking whether the instance we're currently at is either a mesh part or part, which indicates that we are currently at a body part, and we of course want our player to disappear. So we want to create the illusion of our character disappearing because of this transformation, and we do not want to delete the character, because if we delete the character, then we have a problem. Then we cannot continue playing because our character is gone. But what we are doing right here is that we are turning the character to invisible. So we are making the character invisible by setting the transparency of our body parts to 1. So our body parts mostly consist of mesh parts or parts, so if you use R6. Now, the third argument, the third requirement is whether the instance is a decal. And decal, well, the case for the decals is that you encounter the face. So the face of each character consists of a decal, and we also want the face of the character to disappear. So that's why I have added that requirement right here. So this one makes our character invisible now. But what we want to do as well is that we want to clone this dragon model. So game get service replicated storage. So Kaidou dragon clone. So let's put this one inside of our character. And let's create a veld. One instance.new veld D. Now the primary part. So port 0. I'm gonna explain this in a bit, do not worry. So I'm curious about this. I would like to see how this is going to look like. Okay, yeah, so this is actually quite interesting. Okay, yeah. Interesting thing right here. So let's select all of them. Make sure that massless is on. Let's see what happens now. There we go. So now mass loss is turned on, and as you can see, there is no problem with us jumping around. Yeah. All right. So we obviously have to work on the C-framing because the C-frame is not that good yet. So we have to rotate this by at least 90 degrees. So WC1, C-frame that angles, mathrat, 90 degrees. There we go. Let's test this out again. And once this works, I'm gonna... There we go. So, okay, yeah, it does work. All right. So, let me quickly go through this. So we are referring to the replicated storage, and then to the Kaidou dragon, and then we are cloning it. And then we are parenting it to our character. Means we are putting the cloned version of the dragon inside of our character. And what we're doing right here is that we are creating a new instance. And the first argument indicates what kind of instance this is going to be, and this is going to be a valid, obviously. The second argument determines where the parent, or what the parent of this instance is, and in this case, it is the primary part of this model right here. So the primary part of this model is the root part, so this one. So that's the root part of our Kaidou dragon model. Now, W part 0. So this determines the part 0 of our weld. As you guys know, welds consist of a part 0 and a part 1. The part 0 is the part you're welding something onto, and part 1 is the part which is being welded into something. So that's the description I use in all of my videos. And in this case, we want to weld the dragon onto our pre-existing character. So part 0 is obviously our humanoid root part, and part 1 is the root part of our dragon, which is the primary part of this model. And WC1, yeah, it is just the C-frame. And what we're doing right here is that we are turning the dragon by 90 degrees on the y-axis. So as you have seen, the position of the dragon has changed, so the dragon has rotated. So that's basically what happens down here. Now, what I would like to do now is that I would like to create an animation. And I would like to play this animation. And then we're going to see what we're going to do, because I don't think that I'm going to create a fly system in this video. I'm going to work on that one in a future video. Maybe the next one, I don't know yet. But we're not going to do that in today's video, so that's certain. Yeah, so Axe did a quite good job on this one. Thank you, bro. Really. You really did a good job on this one. I'm really happy of the result. Yeah, thank you very much. It is so cool, like, for real. Yo, he did such a good job on this one. I'm really happy with the results. So I know that this one was probably pretty difficult to do because my creation right here was not that friendly when it comes to rigging it. So I did not really did anything to make this rigging friendly, let's say. So I just wanted to create a Kaidou model, and I've just went for it, so... Wait. So how are we going to do this? Wait. What is this thing? Wait. What is this thing? Wait, so this is so funny too. Like, I don't really know what kind of impact this has. Well, we just have to test it out, you know. So there is also no help in Google or something like that, so you cannot look it up because this is obviously our own creation. So you will not find anything for it, you know. So let's add some random movement to it. Come on, dude. Okay, so let's use this one as an idling animation. So let's set the animation priority to action. Let's publish this to Roblox. So I'm curious about this. So this is actually my first time working on something like this. And well, yeah. So let's submit. Let's copy the ID. Let me save this into this one, so that you guys are able to export it onto your account. So let me paste an animation inside of here. So let's create an animation. Let's call this one idling. Let's add this animation ID right here we have just gathered. Wait, let me get it back. So I've just pasted the ID inside of here. So let's go back inside of here and let's do the following. So let's create a local A. Let's refer to the animation controller and then do load animation and then load the idling. So we want to load that idling animation. We want to make a play. So let me see if this works. And if it works, I'm going to explain it to you. So I'm curious about this one. Does it work? Does it work? Idling is not a valid member of Kaidou Dragon. Is. It is. It literally is. Idling. Wait for child idling. It is a valid member. It is not because it is not inside of here. That's the reason why. Okay. So, one last thing I would like to do as well is that I'm going to create a body position, because this body position is going to be important when it comes to this fly system later on. And we want to put this body position inside of our character's humanoid root part. And this one is basically going to make sure that, that we are going to float, you know. So float up in the sky. All right. Let me quickly create this delete process as well, and then I'm gonna end the video, and then in the next video we are hopefully going to create a fly system for this dragon. So we can of course just take this one and make it reverse. The problem is that we have the human root part as an instance inside of our character, which has to be invisible. So C humanoid root part transparency 1. So the problem right here is that this check, it does not care whether it is currently setting the humanoid root part's transparency to 0 or not. That's the reason why we have to do it down here as well. Now the next thing we should get rid of is the dragon, of course. So if C find first child Kaidou dragon, then we want to delete the dragon. Next thing, if there is a if there is this body position inside of the humanoid root part, then we want to delete it as well, and that's it. So there's nothing else to do for us. Okay, so let's check this out for a final time. Look, I'm gonna glitch myself up, so if you spam the key, then right, so that's it for today's video, guys. So this dragon transformation right here is pretty useless currently, so I have somehow baited you with the video, to be honest, because you guys were probably expecting a very useful transformation which allows you to fly around, but no. We're going to do that in the next video. So this video was only about the transformation, and personally for myself to get used to this model, because I have not dealt with any of those custom models yet. But yeah, so as you can see, that's my result. I'm not the best animator, I'm not the best modeler, but shoutouts to Axe again for making this thing riggable. So I love you, man. And I think the community loves you as well. Alright, with that being said, see ya.